For a long time, I have been transitioning to get paid for my knowledge instead of just the services I was providing to consumers. Active work and getting paid for what you're doing. It's not a scalable way. It's not a way to scale and make a lot of money. But when you're able to leverage your knowledge, leverage what you know, and sell your knowledge, it's easier to make a lot of money because you can leverage it, and there's several points of leverage here. So if you're looking for ways to leverage your knowledge, and you're looking for ways to get paid for what you're saying, what you know, rather than what you do, this video is for you, because I'm going to talk about the steps you need to cover to attain that. Everybody wants more clients. Every business wants more clients, but no, not many businesses put in the effort to be findable for the clients they ideally want to be working with. And making yourself findable is so important in today's age, because your economy is not limited by your geography anymore. Just because you live in Canada doesn't mean you can only do business with people in Canada. You can do business with people globally. And your geography being not limited anymore, it's very imperative to make yourself findable for the people around the world who want to be working with you. And when it comes to being able to put yourself out there and share your knowledge and be paid for your knowledge, a lot of people will come across imposter syndrome. That's just normal, because looking at professionals, judges, lawyers, doctors, all these people, even though they are at the height of their career when it comes to social standing, they still feel imposter syndrome. They don't feel like they're enough because their experience just felt normal to them. They're looking at, the expert as somebody who's up there, when the reality is they're already experts, and they feel imposter syndrome. So if you're feeling that imposter syndrome, feeling like, hey, you're not qualified to share your knowledge, you're not qualified to be able to get paid for what you know, chug that nonsense, because, hey, everybody feels that imposter syndrome, and you can't let that stop you. But the first rule of thumb here, when it comes to being able to monetize what you know, get paid for your knowledge, is that you have to be able to start sharing your ideas one to many. All right? No more one-to-one ideas, because that is limited. One to many, meaning use these leveraging platforms to share your ideas, because, and make it a rule of thumb. No speaking or sharing your ideas to groups that are less than 100. All right. So when it comes to speaking publicly, you need a group that's at least 100 people. When it comes to sharing your ideas, you want to do that publicly, where it gets at least 100 views. YouTube is a great platform. Making a video, you put that on YouTube, you can get over 100 views. When it comes to LinkedIn, you don't even have to put videos. LinkedIn, you can post. You can post over a length of time there, but sharing your ideas publicly and then making sure that anytime you're speaking, it is going out to as many people as possible instead of just a few people. That's how you let the universe and the law of averages work for you, because eventually people from those groups will reach out to you because they're willing to work with you, and they're looking for that one-on-one attention, so you can pay them that attention and solve problems that are specific to them. All right? So no sharing one-on-one ideas. Share your ideas publicly and use all the platforms that are established, the YouTube, the LinkedIn, the video content, TikTok. Just share your ideas publicly, and that's how you're able to reach more people so that you can get paid for what you know. The second thing is you have to maintain consistency. All right. So consistency is the thing where, you can even hire virtual staff to help you. When it comes to publishing YouTube content, you can hire virtual staff to help you facilitate that process. When it comes to making posts, you can hire people and their job is just to help you maintain that consistency, because it's easier for you to let yourself down when it comes to being, seen, but it's harder for you when somebody else has to rely on you. So they give you that extra boost to be able to maintain that consistency. And consistency is so important with all these platforms. You're not going to be seen unless you've been there long enough where the algorithm boosts you up. And that's when it becomes an overflow, where you have so many people reaching out to you, you can't even work with them anymore. You have to hire people to work with them. And that's where you need to be, getting paid for your knowledge, not just your labor. Now, the third thing is, content doesn't have to be very excessive. It doesn't have to be highly edited. It just has to be, it just has to be making sure you're findable. So putting your content out there is important after consistency. But the reality is, not many of those content you put out is actually going to get you any traction. Yeah, a lot of what you're doing is not going to get you traction. But one or two pieces of those content, maybe YouTube, for example, let's use YouTube as an example. You put out 1,000 videos. One or two of those videos is going to account for 80% of your traffic. And that's the reality. So you have to keep putting things out there and doing it consistently, and wait for that one or two pieces of content to really take you to that next level, because that's where most of your traffic is going to be coming through. And if you don't know what you're currently trying to do yet and you're just starting out, absolutely just put out your content. I say just keep putting it out. The people who want to reach out and work with you are eventually going to start asking you the questions that are specific to them. And then you can go ahead and create some type of a mini course and then leverage, that mini course, because you're selling your knowledge. You're selling your knowledge through a course program there. So it's not a very complicated process here. It's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy to execute because most people lack that consistency aspect to be able to eventually get them the result that they need. So if you like this type of video and you want to get paid for your knowledge, you want to get paid for what you know, not just your labor, please subscribe, and I would love to speak with you later. You take care. One shot.